Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 RTG career mode here with Stoke City. We return today with a really big episode. 14 games left to play in the Premier League. We're on a torrid run of form with I believe just 2 wins in our last 8 in the league. And currently 7 points behind Chelsea in that final European spot in 7th. So we need to turn our form around and we need to do it quickly. We've got a much more favourable run of fixtures coming in today's episode and a nice little cup tie to turn our focus on as we travel to Molineux to take on Wolves in the 4th round of the FA Cup. I'm hoping this will be a nice distraction from our terrible league form and we can get back to winning ways here with a nice victory. Come on the Potters. Well, this hasn't been a particularly good game so far as Galbraith finds Linton. Now Sarmiento backing up him. Sarmiento lets fly. And that's a wonderful strike by Jeremy Sarmiento. Well, there's the whistle here at Molineux. Pretty poor game. Conditions didn't help. And Wolves didn't really create a huge amount. The early goal from Jeremy Sarmiento is enough to separate the sides. And we'll be heading through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Of course, a competition that does wield European football for the winner. So maybe an alternative route if we can't finish in the top 8. Who knows? As we get back to the menu, a big win for us there. And let's find out who it is we'll face in the 5th round. I'm hoping for another favourable tie as we will be taking on Burnley away from home. Okay, Championship Burnley. Liverpool still there, Newcastle, Man City, Arsenal, no Chelsea, no Spurs. So yeah, okay, fair enough. Burnley away from home as we'll travel to Turf Moor. I fancy our chances of getting through to the next round with that, but we'll jump into our next game. Taking on Leicester City in the Premier League, away from home at the King Power. Need to get back to winning ways in the league. And I'm hoping we can carry our win from the Cup into this next fixture. As I say, 14 games to play, 7 points behind Chelsea. We need to start winning games now. Come on, the Potters. Yeah, we played Leicester pretty recently at home and won by just a single goal to nil in what was quite a tight game. But I'm feeling pretty confident. The only thing that's really a concern for me is the poor run of form that we've been on. But on paper, I'd say that we're definitely favourites for this, as that's lovely football, and Oscarson should really have opened the scoring. Well, not the greatest of first half performances. We've done all right, and we've sort of controlled the game without creating too much. But I think Leicester will be pretty happy with that first half performance, as we remain deadlocked at 0-0. We need the points really desperately at the top of the table, as Sainz given space to let fly and denied by Daniel Iverson. Needs to find a goal in this second period. Corner short to Bay. Skipped around his man. Bay on the left foot, tipped over by Iverson again. And the corner once again will go short. This time it's Mihaly who comes across. Swung to the back post. It might go all the way in. How has that stayed out? How on earth has that stayed out? Watch that through ball. Watch that through ball. El Canoes off the woodwork. Leicester so close to winning it at the death. And that's going to do it as well, guys. Such a disappointing result. And I think our hopes of European football are seriously fading. Have to win these sorts of games, even on the road, if we are to get back into the hunt for European football. Chelsea could extend the gap to 9 points with a victory. And that might just be too much at this stage of the season to make up. Well, as we get back to the menu, we see that Million will be down for a further 2 months with that injury. Just back from a broken toe, and now he goes down again in what has been an injury-hit season for the Dutchman. But Chelsea do win to go 9 points clear of us, but they've leapfrogged United and gone into 6th. So the gap remains at 7 points to 7th place, but it's now Manchester United that we're chasing down. Got to get back to winning ways here as we return back home to the Britannia against Ipswich Town. Come on, the Potters. There's been a lot of pressure on this Ipswich goal early doors. And there's Bay through the gap for Aarons. Surely for one. Into the Iceman, and just what we needed. A goal relatively early in the first half. The Iceman back on the score sheet once again. He's not been quite as prolific this campaign, but he's still our top scorer by some distance. Danilo does well. He's having a good game in there. As Sainz finds the Brazilian, takes his time and finds Sarmiento in a little pocket. Now it's the skipper Bay round the corner for Sainz, surely for two. Borja Sainz puts us in a commanding position heading into the break, looking to return to winning ways, and the perfect opening 45 minutes here. And there's the whistle here at the Britannia. Pretty quiet second half, but we'd already done the work in the first with those 2 goals from Oscarson and Sainz. Back-to-back clean sheets for Stoke City as well, as we look to tighten up for this final run-in. That's an important victory that puts the pressure on Manchester United. Well, 12 to play now, and as Chelsea lose and Manchester United win, it's Chelsea now in 7th, 6 points clear of us, with United 7 points clear in 6th. Still lots to play for, and another winnable game here as we're on the road taking on Bournemouth down on the south coast at the Vitality. Another of those sides kind of in the bottom half of mid-table without a huge amount to play for, so we've got to make sure we get the wins in these games. And with Manchester United travelling to Aston Villa, a great chance to put the pressure on. Come on, the Potters. Ooh, that could be a red, you know. Gone all Gary Neville again. Saw a great comment on the episode a couple of weeks ago saying I'd gone Gary Neville, and Hamad Traore sent off early doors. Well, this is a great opportunity here, and we need to make sure we claim all 3 points. Just got to be patient in our build-up, which we did really well in the previous game. As that's lovely football, and Bay across to Oscarson, not going to miss that. And straight after the red, we score the opening goal, and we are coming for the Red Devils. Danilo gives it away, really poor pass, and now Jonathan David, long way out. Oh no, Bilal! He's normally so consistent for us, but that is an absolute howler from the kid. Diamande, forward to Danjuma. He's been quiet today. Danjuma finds Danilo. Now Danjuma again. Sainz. Nice build-up. Danilo looked to prod it through for Bay. And Danilo has it again. Sainz on the move. Sainz through on goal. Borja Sainz restoring the lead. And that's a big, big goal from the Spaniard. He's been so big for us since coming in on deadline day. And that is probably the biggest goal of his Stoke City career. There's the whistle, and we made hard work of it, and I was feeling very nervy heading into those final 10 minutes. But Borja Sainz with a big, big goal, and Stoke City hold on in the final 10 to claim all 3 points on the road. There's now 3 games in the Premier League without defeat and 3 wins in our last 4 in all competitions as we pile the pressure on Manchester United and Chelsea. We're still in this. And as Chelsea drop points in a West London derby away at the Cottage, the gap now cut to just 4 points to Maresca's side. Manchester United get a big win at Villa Park to keep the gap at 7, but we are coming and we're not going anywhere. But our attention will turn to the FA Cup for this next game as we take on Scott Parker's Burnley side, obviously down in the Championship. So we are favourites for this one, but a tricky test against the Clarets, looking to make it through to the quarterfinals. Come on, the Potters. Yeah, I'd definitely say that the FA Cup is my second priority this season, but we've got to remember that it is a route into the Europa League if we do fail to finish in the top 7. So got to keep that in mind, and if we win here, then we will be into the quarterfinals. So a great opportunity at reaching the latter stages of the competition, but we are by no means favourites to make it even to the final, let alone lift the trophy. Burnley coming out here on the front foot, looking to make a strong start. We've not cleared, and the flag's up. Another howler from Bilal, but he's saved by the Lino's flag. For the first time in his very short career, he just looks a little bit unsettled at the moment as Adam races through, and he's not going to miss that. And we might have Alexander Mitrovic joining our ranks next season. But this man, what a consistent goal scorer he has been for us in limited game time. Bash forward to Diamande. I've still got some starters out there for this game because, as I say, great opportunity to reach the latter stages. This is some nice football as well. And Galbraith using the run of Adam as a decoy. Still Galbraith. Lovely footwork, and Sarmiento. Oh, it's found its way in via the deflection. And Jeremy Sarmiento, who spent some time on loan at Burnley many years ago now in the save. I'm not sure if he's even going to be credited with it because it must have taken a huge nick off the defender. But he doubles our lead and puts us in a great position of reaching the final 8 of the FA Cup. Tell you what, Burnley have played some decent stuff out there today. They've been a little bit unlucky. And it's just been that quality going forward that they've not been able to deal with. But they're back in the game there. 15 minutes to play. Zeki Amdouni pulls one back for the Clarets, and they're not done just yet. Well, thankfully, it will not make a difference to the scoreline as Stoke managed to hold on in those final 10 minutes or so, and will be heading through to the quarter-finals. We've had a decent bit of luck with the cup draws this season, and I'm hoping that might continue as we head into the final 8. Let's go and see who it is we'll face. Right, as we get back to the menu, let's find out who it is we will face in the quarter-finals, where Stoke City will be taking on... Oh, you are having a laugh. Well, it looks as if our progress will end there as we take on Man City at the Etihad, Sunderland against Ipswich, Brighton against the Blades, and Aston Villa take on the Magpies. So Liverpool lost to Ipswich. That's mad. And we literally got the toughest draw we could have had in the quarters. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for the time being, a huge game in the Premier League as we travel to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United. Currently 7 points behind them, and if they get a win here, I don't think we will have enough time to catch them. Chelsea, meanwhile, take on Ipswich away from home, where I would expect them to pick up all 3 points. So they could also extend the gap to 7, depending on the result. So a huge round of fixtures. Come on, the Potters. Yeah, huge game here at Old Trafford, and we need to make sure that A, we don't concede an early goal, and B, we stay in the game for as long as we can. They're the two things that I mentioned at the end of the previous episode when we had that tricky run of fixtures and we went on a really poor run of form. We don't do a very good job of staying in games against the big sides. As Bay lets fly, and Bayinda didn't cover himself in glory, and the skipper opens the scoring at the Theatre of Dreams. That is exactly what we needed. Danilo offloads to Diamande. And there's Sarmiento. There's got to be space somewhere. Diamande slides that through to Bay. And Sainz back to the skip. Bay lets fly. But what a brilliant first half from Stoke City. Still we lead by 1. And United have barely had a sniff on Bilal's goal. We've been really good defensively. And we've looked a threat going forward as well with Sarmiento. Back to Sainz. And Sarmiento again, just looking for a gap to poke that through. There is Oscarson. Wouldn't quite fall for him. Bay. And Sarmiento to let fly, denied by Bayinda between the sticks. We've been brilliant in these opening 52 minutes. Well, there's the whistle, and what a brilliant victory for Stoke City on the road. Probably our biggest scalp of the save so far as we turn up at Manchester United at the Theatre of Dreams. And we had to grind it out towards the end, but grind it out we do. A narrow 1-0 victory that will move us, I believe, within 4 points of Manchester United. Now, that is a big win. And the skipper with a huge goal at Old Trafford. Well, Chelsea were held to a 1-1 draw at Portman Road. We are just 2 points behind Maresca's side now. 4 points behind the Red Devils after our big win at Old Trafford, and it is well and truly back on for Stoke City. A winnable fixture up next as well as we take on Wolves at home at the Britannia. currently fighting for their lives down at the bottom, so they're desperate for the points as well, currently sat inside the relegation zone. But with United taking on Liverpool and Chelsea at home to Leicester, a great opportunity to climb into the top 7. Come on, the Potters. Wolves looking to get on the front foot early here. Bassi does well, but it's back with Wolves, and Bilal has to smartly make that save as Diomande now brings it the other way. As Munoz starting in midfield for Wolves, you love to see it. Not sure his loan agreement would have allowed it, but good to see him getting some football as Diomande denied as we start the game off here at 1,000,000 miles an hour in the opening 8 minutes. Sainz skips away from Bellegarde. That's brilliant. I see you, Oskarsson. Lovely bit of movement. And the Iceman has his defender on skates and opens the scoring with a beautiful finish into that bottom corner. Tavares through the gap for Hwang. Guedes skips away from Flamingo and finds Nuno Tavares. Danger here. Tavares does really well. Tavares pegs it back, and that is fantastic defending by Bassi. And a bit of a scramble, and Bilal has to make the save as we remain at 1-0. Sarmiento throws it to Diomande quickly, and now Oskarsson round the corner for the skip. Bay for 2, doesn't miss those. And it's been a really good season for Bay once again. Great returns from him in what has been quite an injury-hit season. Missed 3 months with the broken toe. But centrally, we get so much more out of the skipper. And with Borja Sainz on the left, that is a brilliant piece of tactical work from yours truly. Bellegarde driving forward for Wolves. Through the gap, it's onside. Guedes pulls one back. Been a cracking game here at the Britannia. Really enjoyed this one. Frantic and end-to-end. Been goals, there's been chances. And there's still a lot of football to be played in this second half as Bellegarde, come on, let's not throw this away from 2 goals up. Bellegarde skips away from Danilo and runs into Boz, but gets away. Bellegarde going on, denied by Bilal. Still more goals to come today, I'm sure of it. And that's going to be onside as Bilal gathers. This has been crazy. Bay into Danilo. We can grab a third. I don't think Wolves will be able to come back from that as Borja Sainz, lovely build-up, Sainz denied and cleared away. Well, that's going to do it here at the Britannia. And despite the goal back from Wolves, they couldn't claim a point, and that's what they need right down at the bottom. But it's also what we need at the top end of the table as well. Pressure on Manchester United and Chelsea as we do our job and secure the victory here at the Britannia. We had the easiest of the 3 fixtures, I would have said. So let's go and see how United and Chelsea got on. Well, not quite the double whammy for us, but Manchester United losing at home to Liverpool is a good result, as it does mean we close the gap to just a single point to Amorim's side. Chelsea do get the victory as expected over Leicester, but just by a single goal to nil, and not particularly convincingly, as we move 2 points within the Blues. So still loads to play for, and I think I might close out with this one here in the FA Cup, taking on Manchester City. I never normally like to end on a loss, but I do expect that our progress will end here. If we do somehow scrape a victory, we'll be heading into the semi-finals as potentially one of the favourites to lift the trophy. As I mentioned, still a route into the Europa League, so big things riding on this quarter-final clash here. Come on, the Potters. Well, I'm going to say it again, as I always do when we head into these big games. We've got to make sure that we don't concede early and that we stay in the game. Do those 2 things and we've got a chance of making it through today, despite being major underdogs. The conditions aren't great for it in the rain here. As Adam in the middle, Adam gets his head to it, and Unai Simon plucks it out of the sky. But a positive start from Stoke. Lewis Skelly forward to Sainz. I've still got some starters out there today. The Sainz looks for the skipper, and Unai Simon had to be careful with that ball holding up. There's Foden as he takes on Lewis Skelly. Foden comes in field and pokes it through to Haaland, who doesn't miss them. Erling Haaland, my arch nemesis, always scores against me, man. And he does so here to open the scoring in the quarter-final. Lewis Skelly into Bay. And now Sainz. Nice football. Bay. Oh, it's off the woodwork. So unorthodox from the skipper, but he nearly caught Unai Simon out. And we're nearly back on level terms instantly. As now Haaland comes the other way, finds Foden, and that's brilliant by Mihaly. Perone forward to Foden. Through for Erling Haaland. Keeper's not got there. What's happened there? Is that a free kick? Well, what's happened here? Bilal comes storming out. What's he done? Has he handballed it? I'm not sure what that's all about. Free kick, really dangerous position. Chance for two. It will be Foden. It will be Haaland. It will be laid off for Rodri. And it's kept out for now as we still can't clear. And we remain in the game as it's still 1-0. Danjuma down the right-hand side into the big man. Bay through the middle. Danjuma forward to Juranovic. He's onside there. Picks out Bay in the middle. What a save, Unai Simon. Doku driving City forward. And there's Maxime Perone forward to Foden. And that's lovely football as Bilal keeps Foden out and keeps us in the game. Kata forward to Sainz. And there's Bay ahead of him. Oscarson off the bench. Back to Bay. Is this our moment? Bay! Oh, it's just wide. Now Aaron's offering himself down the right. Diamonde. Linton. Kata, Diamonde, Linton, lovely football. Bay looking to pick somebody out in the middle, and Unai Simon there again as City will clear, and that might just do it. There may not be time for another opportunity, but we gave it a real good go. What a fantastic cup tie here in Manchester. But it is Manchester City who are going to walk away into the semi-finals of the FA Cup against the league leaders and arguably the best team in England. We gave it a real good go, but that is where our run in the cup will come to an end, and that is where today's episode will come to an end as well, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. We went on a really good run in league and cup today, and we've put ourselves in a really good position to try and qualify for European football come the end of the season. There's 9 games left to play in the Premier League. We'll have probably 7 of those in the next episode before coming back for the season finale. And I will catch you for that next episode very soon. Take care, guys, and peace.